So in this video I'm going to show you how to program in a new Ford Transit key on this 2015 Ford Transit. So at the moment the key doesn't work at the moment. We've just freshly cut the blade ready for programming. So we're using the Autel IM508, the IM508. We'll click on Immo, agree to the terms and conditions, Ford EU, and let the program load up. You're going to try the automatic selection, so what we need to do is going to put the working key in the ignition, or if you haven't got a working key, just put that one in the ignition and turn the ignition on. And then what we're going to do is go on automatic selection. See if it will auto read the VIN. Sometimes it works, and this time it does. So we're going to press OK and see if it will decode the VIN. So that's took the VIN number and decoded it to this data. So it's actually a 2017 Transit. Decoded it to that data. So we're going to press yes. So the other option is manually doing it, manually selecting Ford Transit 17 to 19, but the automatic function is just a lot better. So we've got the options of Immo scan, which will scan and check for fault codes, Immobilizer information, control unit, and hot function. So we recommend doing Immo scan, but we'll go through it sort of backwards. So Immo scan, Immo information. So this tells you that the vehicle can have a maximum of 8 keys, ID63 transponder, the 433 megahertz on the remote, and it's a bladed key. Tells you where the OBD location is. So press escape on that. As you can see, the OBD is just down there. On hot function, this allows us to do things individually. So we can select add key, which is guided, it guides you through it, or all keys lost, which is also guided. So if you just want to add a key like we do today, that one, if it's all keys lost, then you can go down that route. Control unit, it deals with Immobilizer information, so you can go into the actual Immobilizer, check for fault codes, and learn remote controls. Or alternatively, the recommended route is Immo scan. What that's doing now is reading fault code from the body control module, engine control module, checking how many keys are programmed, which is 2, and the minimum keys required is 2. So that's told us everything we need to know. So it's got a green light on the VCM, which is no fault codes, but one error on here on the engine control module. So we can either look at those fault codes by pressing the little blue button there, the arrow, or we can just erase DTCs. So that's what we're going to do in this example. Erase DTCs, and then it's now passed. So now it's passed, we've got green on both. What we can do, we know it's going to be safe to program keys in. There's 2 keys programmed, so we want to go from 2 to 3. So we're going to go not to report. That report will show you the fault codes. Add key, that's the one we're going to go through. If you had all keys lost, you'd go for this one. If you wanted to program a new Immobilizer unit, this one. Vehicle information, like the VIN number and data, that one. Or escape takes you back to the menu. So we're going to go to add key guided. So it simply puts it down into small step-by-step functions because it's guided. So what we're going to do first is just press start. It says if the factory alarm is activated, you need to deactivate the factory alarm first to learn keys, which the factory alarm isn't activated, so we don't need to. But if it is activated, to disarm the alarm, you need to close all doors, open driver's door, and put any proxy keys in the reader slot. If it's a keyed ignition, insert the key into the ignition and turn it to the on position. Wait about 10-15 minutes before you'll hear 2 chirps, which will be the alarm turning off. You hear the 2 chirps from the vehicle, then the factory alarm is deactivated. You will need to learn the keys immediately within 1 minute. But we haven't got this issue with the alarm, so we can just press OK. It says this procedure will not erase existing keys, which is fine because the customer's got this one key that's in the ignition and he's lost the other key, but he might find it soon somewhere. So we're just going to add this one on top of the two that's already there. So press yes. It says it is normal for the instrument customer to go blank when performing this function. So you see how the ignition is on and the instrument cluster's lit up. Sometimes it might go blank, which is normal. It's just warning you. So we're going to press OK, or yes. It says insert the key to be learned and turn the ignition on. So the key to be learned is the one that's not programmed yet. So we're going to take this key out, which is the one that's already learned, the customer's key. And we're going to get this one and put this one in. And as it says, turn the ignition on. Turn the ignition on. So now we're going to go back to the screen. Now the ignition's turned on with the key to be learned, and press OK. So it's accessing security. It's entered the system, accessing the security to get through the PIN code side of things. So this could take 3 to 10 minutes. It don't usually take that long on this year transit. The dash went blank, came back on and says no key detected. No key detected. So it's accessing the security through the instrument cluster. The immobilizer is built into the cluster. And the ignition's gone off. It's gone blank. As it works out the PIN code. So it's got to work out the PIN code so it can add the unauthorized key, which is in the ignition currently, into the immobilizer. The ignition's just come back on itself. That's it, succeeded. It says keys learnt currently is 2, so we want that to go from 2 to 3, so press OK. Turn ignition off, so we can turn the ignition off, we leave a key in the ignition. Press OK again. Insert the key to be learnt and turn the ignition on. So this is the key to be learnt, so we can turn the ignition on. Press OK. It says learning the key into the immobilizer at the moment. And that's it. So it says current key number is 3. So that means it's added the key from 2 to 3. Learning is successful. Do you want to add the next key? So we don't want to add any more keys. We've gone from 2 to 3, so that's good. That's a good thing about checking how many keys are in there to start with, is you know that all you need to go is from 2 to 3 if you're trying to add one key. So do you want to learn the next key, which is no. And that's it. Success. So add a key is success, and you can see it's gone through these steps to do that. So we can press escape. Escape again to come out of the system. Yes to exit. Switch tool off at this point and test the key. Pull out the OBD. Switch the ignition off. So this is the new key. You see now. It's the remote is automatically programmed in. That should now start the vehicle. So that starts up the vehicle. That's it all programmed. What you would want to do as well before you leave a job is just test the customer's original key and make sure that's not been knocked out. So both start up. Now the customer's got his original key and a brand new key with the buttons all working.